TWD family, in case you're not aware, there's a reason why we at Squawking Dead shy away from politics, and it's not necessarily the reason that you think. The fact of the matter is we live in a multi-planar world with an infinite prism of perspectives. We discuss the human condition every week, sure within the context of a zombie apocalypse, but we do our best to take those lessons into the real world. We try to find meaning and value in the journey. I'm not going to bury the lead here. Things fall apart, sure, but this too shall pass. The wind always wins and nature decides, seasons change, and we all eventually meet our maker. Nature doesn't account for our desires and needs, nature decides for us. It's what we do with that knowledge that determines our fate, because we are the masters of our fate. So how do we decide our fate? It's said that hell or madness is repetition, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. But we're not in hell. And the fact of the matter is that within the context of politics, people aren't satisfied with doing the same thing over and over again, especially if the result is the same. So usually what follows is an escalation or doubling down. Have you not learned from All Out War? Have you learned nothing from Rick and Negan going at it the same way and expecting a different result? And here we are drawing lines in the sand between us and friends and family simply because we pray a different way. And yet, all the while, we fail to recognize that what our loved ones are praying for is our own well-being. For us. They want us to be safe, healthy, happy, fed, successful, and even joyful. The only minor and insignificant difference is that they believe in a different way to go about it. And that's it. And rather than celebrate those differences and learn from them, as I've tried to do over the last 3 years with this podcast, looking at everything we break down and then learning and getting value from it and trying to see things from the other side as we eventually learn with Negan and as we try to figure out with Rick. Some of us have chosen to shut those differences out because they don't map on to the right opinion. But right opinion? The most fundamental survival value in your toolkit is the ability to adapt. The number one mistake you can make in the zombie apocalypse is overestimating your abilities and underestimating your everyday challenges. All of this to say that in order to breed and exist in a healthy world, we have to try to understand one another, especially the people in our lives that mean the most to us. When we shut them out of our lives, we deny one another the valuable survival tactics as a people necessary to navigate. No, not the zombie apocalypse, but life itself. I hope you took something from this speech. I just see people making fun of one another and deriding each other. The point is, we need to learn from The Walking Dead, from TWD family, to be a family. And sometimes to be a family, yes, is to argue about points. But it's also about learning to listen to one another, to gain value from one another. Reject the things that you might not agree with, but at least to try to understand them. Because when you do understand them, you start to realize that this is just another way forward. Another thing that we can learn from one another. And to not see each other as adversaries, but as partners facing in the same direction, looking at different paths towards success for not just ourselves, but humanity as a whole. So I urge you, please try and hold back from blaming and deriding and making fun of and putting down the other. Anyone. Do your best. Try to gain value from them. Take care, and if you've gotten something out of this, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I truly appreciate you listening. Take care.